Here's a story from the subreddit Let's Not Meet, called I Didn't Want to Talk. This happened about a year and a half ago. I'm almost 20 now, so I was probably either 17 or 18. I'm also a female. At the time, I had recently just come back from a vacation with my father, and was going to visit my best friend since I hadn't seen her since I left. I should also mention that I do not drive. I've always had a bit of a fear of being behind a wheel. Plus, I live in a fairly big city. Why drive when I can easily just walk or bus wherever I need to go? I live right behind a mall. On the other side of the mall from my house are the bus stops. At least the bus stop I needed to go to get to her house. Usually, when I walk to the stop, I would walk around the mall so I could have a cigarette before the bus comes. I was all out that day, so decided to walk right through the mall. Plus, it would have been faster. I had my headphones in as I began walking through, and was just sort of focused on getting through the mall and to the stop. Thank God it was early in the week and during the day, so I didn't have to worry about any annoying middle schoolers. I just finished walking through the court when I noticed this guy, I'm still assume was in his late 20s, sitting on one of the benches and staring at me. Obviously, I didn't want to get involved with the whole awkward stranger eye contact thing, so I looked away when I noticed he was staring. But he didn't look away after I did. Even when I started to pass him, he turned his head and kept watching me. And once I was out of view, I noticed him stand up and start following me. I didn't want to think much of it. I mean, it's a mall. People go to malls, and people walk through malls. So I tried not to pay attention and kept walking. It was after I had already walked through the entire mall, outside, and was crossing the street to the stop, that I noticed the guy was still following me. I stopped walking when I got to the correct spot, and the guy who had been following stopped walking too, and was standing way too close for my liking. I really tried my hardest to ignore him, but he would not leave, and just continued to stand extremely close to me, and every time I moved, he moved as well. Eventually, I had enough, took my headphones out, turned around, and asked, "Can I help you?" He just kept staring at me, for what seemed like forever. Finally, after an incredibly awkward silence, he said, "You are so beautiful." I don't know if I should have been thankful, but I was totally creeped out. This guy had to literally follow me to tell me this? Who the hell does this random stuff to girls in malls anyway? I wasn't sure what to say because of how awkward I felt, so I just said, "Thank you." After that, he asked me if it was okay if he could talk to me, and started mumbling about how he could give me a ride and how I should get in his car. I was just about ready to get on a random bus at this point, since mine hadn't shown up yet. I kept refusing and declined, pretty scared at this point. There were people around, quite a few actually, but it was like they had no idea that this was going on. The more I declined his offer to get into his car, the more insisting the guy became. After a few minutes, he even started to grab my arm, lightly, but trying to pull me away from the stop. I probably would have been able to have done a lot more had I not been so panicked. It was the middle of the goddamn day, middle of the week, in public. What the hell was the guy trying to do? Thank God my bus came shortly after that, because he started making comments like, "You have a huge ass, girl. I like it. Come to my car. We can talk and get ice cream." He then kept repeating that he had to talk to me in private, and that we couldn't talk with other people around. I bolted on that bus as soon as it stopped and the doors opened, not even looking at the stop that he was still standing at, even after I got on. I'm so thankful he didn't get on with me. It's a 45-minute bus ride to my friend's house. I sure as hell had an interesting story to tell my friend about my first day back to the country. She laughed about it. I'm not as creeped out about it now, but at the time, I didn't think I'd ever felt so helpless in my life. Well, guys, that was a bit of a creepy story. Anyways, I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you back here soon for another one as soon as I find more content. Sorry for the delay, guys. I've been meaning to make another video for a few months now, but I kinda got sick and wasn't feeling too well, and then come to find out that I'm expecting a new member in my little family, so yay. But anyways, guys, thanks for staying on the channel and waiting and everything. Thank you. See you next time.